This is John Paul Ryan, coming from Tokyo, Japan. Some people call me. Today, quick shout out to Psychodwarf9. Seen him around here quite a bit. It's appreciated. Thanks for support. Today, talking about Bond 25, which, in this case, like in many cases before, we have a woman replacing a classic male character from, in this case, the 60s. Not the 80s. Usually it's the 80s, but the 60s. So this is a very, very classic character, James Bond beloved. And I shouldn't say replacing, but she's going to be playing the main spy, the main role. And I did hear she will not be 007. Maybe she will, just a rumor at this point, which would help. But the fact is, they're making a Bond movie with a woman in the forefront as the lead instead of James Bond. So, he will be in the movie and he'll be retired. Now, if it was a completely different movie in the same world without a mention of James Bond or something, that's totally cool. I'm sure there are female agents, but I'm just a little worried about how Bond will be treated in this movie. So, let's take a look at a post of somebody who actually defends this character, this plot line, and I'll try to be fair. Okay, so here we see counting the negativity around No Time to Die, which is Bond 25, the movie I'm talking about. Maybe this is just because I'm relatively new to the fandom and haven't been around to witness the lead up to any of the previous Bond movies as a fan. Following the Hollywood Reporter article, I'd like to put my 2 cents in and address some of the points people have made. So his first point here, I'm not going to read the whole thing, I don't even understand the whole thing. He says something like there's no trailer yet as a defense for the negativity, and I don't think the trailer has much to do with it. We already have an idea of what's going to be going on with the main plot line. Number 2 is the official poster looks terrible. That is absolutely no counter to negativity, so the poster looks bad. It doesn't really matter to anyone on either side. Yeah, bad posters pretty crappy, everyone wants a good poster, but it really has nothing to do with us judging the movie or how we feel about this switch or this direction for the franchise. It's just a bad poster. Again, not a counter. This one, possibly the one we came for. Wokeness. As soon as Phoebe Waller-Bridge was attached, this is the one everyone was worried about. Let's set that aside that Eva Green, Rachel Weisz, and Barbara Broccoli, okay, I almost said broccoli there, no offense, I almost said broccoli, have all said James Bond should be a man and just focus on the Hollywood Reporter article. There are 2 things recent woke blockbusters tend to have in common, neither of which have so far been apparent in No Time to Die or Bond 25. The first is that the female leads aren't believable or relatable because they have no flaws. Mary Sue's. Well, not necessarily in the case of Dark Fate. I have not seen the movie, but I haven't heard that Danny was like an incredible Mary Sue. I heard she was more boring and bland and same old. Ray, yes, you could say that. Captain Marvel, oh, that doesn't count because she's actually an original character. Ghostbusters weren't really Mary Sue's. They just did everything the men did, basically. So, yeah, I'm not really going for that. According to Anna Del Armas, her character is very irresponsible, and you don't really know if she's like a really trained, prepared partner for Bond. If she's right, then we're probably not getting a Mary Sue from Lashana Lynch's character, either. If they're both being written by the same people. The second thing woke blockbusters have in common is that when they're being promoted, the cast and their crew tends to do what could be seen as insulting the audience, which is absolutely true. Okay, it's true, but it doesn't necessarily mean the movie's not woke. For example, Dark Phoenix you could consider pretty woke, especially from this one line, but they didn't really insult anyone. But I'll give them a point that we should be more open to it if they're going to be just polite and businesslike with the fandom. Absolutely. If you don't like this, you're sexist. That usually gets used when the actors, filmmakers don't have enough confidence in the movie's quality. We agree there. Maybe I missed something, but the closest anyone has gotten to that was the article when Lashana Lynch addressed the reaction to the reports that her character would be inherit Bond's '07 code number while he's retired. Even then, I don't hear, if you don't like this, you're sexist from her. Man, she said something a little bit weird at some point. I can't recall right now. I'll have to look that up. She did say something, but it wasn't like flat out you're sexist. It generally sounds like everyone on set has a complete confidence in Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and I get why. She's working on a $250 million movie. I suspect she's smart enough to know she'll get the blame if it bombs. That's true. Okay, and just to remind everyone, this is 250 mil on the line. And I can't see why they'd put 250 mil on the line for a movie that people might be skeptical is woke based on woke things that have come out before it. So even if it is good, people just might not be up for it because they might think that they're going in the woke direction, and I think people wouldn't be wrong to think that. So this guy's first 2 points were pretty terrible. The first one, like I said, it was a little hard to understand. He was defending it because people said there was no trailer yet. I don't know. I don't even know, man. Jeez. And the second one about the poster was trash. That's not a defense. It's nothing. But his third defense was decent, okay? I'm going to have to take a look at how the directors, the actors, and everything are treating the audience and the fans. And if they're treating the fans good, and they're just, taking the punches, and they're taking the criticism, and they're saying, wait to see it, then I can't really bash it, and I can't hate on it. I can say it looks terrible from the story point of view. I can say it looks bad, but I couldn't give them, the full criticism that I give Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy, who constantly, give us the finger, or Tim Miller, stuff like that. That's the important thing. Anyway, I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. Click the subscribe button if you haven't. Yeah, I'm stuttering. I stutter at the end, but it's the end, and my average watch time is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'm not so worried about it. Yeah, alright. See you next time.